Hello, episode 30 of the Screen Age podcast. We're now in like the 30s.
30,
I'm
yeah.
not even in my 30s.
No, you're not. No. I hope not.
I hope not too.
But yeah, 30.
Mentally,
Yeah,
I'm
man,
not.
that's crazy.
30,
That's,
we're finally getting up there. It's summer. We're going to look more into things now. So, well,
yeah,
like
more things are
advertising and
coming.
shit.
I hope anyway.
That's another shit I have to fucking. That's so many curse words I now have to censor. Ah, come on!
It's okay. It's okay. 30-second mark. You gotta get 45 seconds, is it?
45 seconds, and then they're okay
we,
with it.
we didn't get it. We didn't
No,
get there.
we absolutely didn't get anywhere close to it. Anyway, I'm your host, your vulgar host, Connor.
The other one, Rodrigo.
The other one. Yeah,
other
you for the first, 20 episodes, you're, censoring yourself, and then you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, eventually you gotta reach a point where you just don't care.
I didn't have, that point started before episode 1.
And that's fair enough. You know. Anyway, we'll get going. What do you want to
Yes,
start with?
we have to start with TV, because while there are some things, it's not really news, it's just things that we get to talk about.
Okay. Well, what do you have? Because I don't have anything.
Okay, I alluded to something I'm delighted with before this in a text, and
Yeah.
that is with the live action last Avatar thing, the live action series that I think is it Netflix that's doing that?
Yes, Netflix.
Okay, they are fixing the whole Katara and Sokka, or is it Sokka? Sokka, I think is how you pronounce it. Age
Oh,
difference.
the age thing. Yeah, I
They're
did see
fucking
that.
fixing it, and I'm so happy.
Yeah, because what was it? Like, Aang is like 12 or something, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that's
He's like
the
12,
age.
13, in and around there. And they were going to make her 17 or
Yeah.
something like that.
No, well, no, the whole thing was that Sokka is supposed to be Katara's older brother, and for some reason in this live action show, they just randomly decide to make Sokka the younger brother and Katara the older brother.
Oh, okay.
God knows what reason, honestly.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense.
No, because their whole shtick is that he keeps being like, "I'm your older brother. You should be listening to me." When she's much fucking smarter. So.
Yeah, that would have been dumb. And I mean, it seems like such a not important thing to care about, but I mean, they make a big fuss about it.
They do.
Just let it go. It's just an age. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you do change the age like that, especially like, okay, I don't care if like in the comics they're 12, or in the original show they're 12, and then like in this they're 14. I don't care about that. What I care about is like that. Like, one's older and the other one's younger. That's just how it is. Like
Yeah,
you said,
it's the whole
it's
thing.
I'm your brother, like older brother. You gotta listen to me. How's that gonna work if you flip it around? That takes away from both
Yeah.
characters.
It takes like the best part of their entire relationship and just complete. Like, okay, this isn't the first thing where this isn't the first account of me saying I'm not into making something that was animated to live action. I'm really not. I don't give a shit about it. If it was good in the past, leave it as it was when it was good. So when this happened, I was like, oh no, they're already making the shit. But then I kind of keep going back to M. Night Shyamalan's one. I'm like, it can't be worse than that.
It can't be. It really cannot be.
And now that this is after happening, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be already. It looking like people they're like listening to fans, because there was definitely a backlash about it. So it looks like they're listening, and that's always something that's encouraging.
Definitely
when
is,
they
because
like somebody listens.
yeah, it was like the same thing with the Sonic movie when he looked atrociously bad, and then they just got a huge backlash from it, and then they were like, okay, we messed up, we just changed it there now, and it made everyone happy, and the movie was great. So when you listen to a
I
certain
like
degree,
your account. I love your account of the Sonic thing of, oh, they don't like it, I will just change it there. I didn't. It's not like they spent what 750,000
to
or seven
basically
and a half
redo the whole
million, something
thing.
like that, to fucking fix it. No, it's not. There we are.
Yeah, and like obviously you can't listen to everything everyone wants. Like you
Mm.
can't. You're not gonna please everyone. But for big things like that, for them to listen means that they actually care about what they're doing and they actually want to like make it good. You
Mm.
know. Um. But yeah, it's a good thing. But again, I'm still holding a lot of reservations for that because of
Oh yeah.
the live action film was so bad. But is it this TV show,
Yeah, it's a
which gives
show.
it a
So
little bit more of a chance, I guess.
it gives it a bit more of a chance, but at the same time, there's so like this is nowhere near the first adaptation. I guess is the best just thing to say because
Yeah,
there's animated adaptations, there's live action adaptations, but all of them have Netflix beside it. So this is another. I think it is Netflix, right?
Netflix. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Okay, just double making sure that we have so many of these Netflix. I think we even have a Cowboy Bebop one at some point.
Probably do. Yeah.
I know there's a I don't know when it is, but there's a Netflix event. So they're gonna like showcase all these things. Literally gonna be like fucking E3 for Netflix for some random reason. I've never heard of this until this year. I don't know if it happened other years. I don't remember it happened in other years.
No, I don't either. I think this is new.
Yeah, it must be new
It
because
has to be. Yeah.
if it was around, because we started this around, well, 30 weeks ago.
30
So
weeks
that
ago.
encompasses a lot of years. I just don't remember any of that. I don't remember hearing anything before that or nearby. So must be a new thing.
It must be.
But like,
Yeah.
there's just so many shows that are just rehashes, remakes. Is the Rugrats thing? Is that Amazon? Is that HBO? Or is that
I don't
Netflix?
know which one it is, but again, it's another remake.
Another one. And we
Another
could be
one.
here for ages talking about it.
Yeah. I'll check there now. It is somewhere here.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Okay.
like I don't understand with this all like just reboots and rehashes of things. I know we talk about it like we're a broken record here every single
Hmm.
week. Um but yeah, it's just really annoying.
It's really annoying because there's so many new shows come. Like I've Shadow and Bone. I saw today that on one streaming site. I can't remember what it's called. It's either with T. It's hitting like 1.6 billion minutes stream. That's top that site. Like
Jeez.
that's not necessarily an original because it's from a book, but it's a new show. It's a different show that we've. It's not a rehash of an old show being made into
Yeah.
a new show. It is a complete new show from a book that we've never done before, and it's doing incredibly well.
It
So
is, yeah.
there is still room for book adaptations, I would say. Book adaptations are always a good thing to try and. If you're going to make an adaptation of something, a TV show of a book series that's lengthy enough is a good way of doing it.
Yeah, and it can be it can be done well.
It has been done well.
Also been can also be done very bad.
It has also been done very bad.
Like yeah, it is definitely better. I would rather them try something new, like an adaptation of a book, than just to spit out the same things that we've been getting for the past couple of years.
Yeah, don't know who said it, but there was. I might have been on one of those shitty, those YouTube ads where it's like it's an obvious, very, very obvious pyramid scheme of where you pay a trader to do something.
Oh yeah,
Very obvious, like such a sketchy thing. But honestly, one had a great quote on it that's actually been stuck with me for some random reason, which was. If everyone likes what you're doing, you're playing it too safe. So that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to play it
yeah,
really safe, so everyone will try and like it. But then it ends up that no one likes it, or everyone likes it. There's no in between.
yeah. Especially because like when you do remakes of things or reboots, you're going to get instantly comparisons will begin to
Mm.
occur, and you're already on the back foot because there's going to be people that are completely against the reboot that will just compare it to the original and just shoot it down and just kill it from day one because they're like this is never going to be as good as the original. But when you do something new, you're actually one step forward because everyone's like, oh, this is new, what's this about? And if you're able to grab them, you create this fan base. You're not trying to re-enter a fan base and get them to love you. You're creating a fan base, which is always easier than trying to please an existing one.
Yeah, like we watched a good few shows that you've seen from our Instagram page, but like when we saw the irregulars, so there's multiple examples of this. You could make a show that looks original and different, and it be shit, but no one will know before they go into it. So before that, you might get people watching your first 3 episodes right off the bat, without really realizing what it is. Because like we watched the irregulars, that is not by any accounts a well done show. It's a good story. It's just not that great. It's kind of all over the place. So it's there, but we still watched all of it because like okay, we watched the first 3 episodes, we might as well finish it out. Same thing with The Stranger. The first, as I said, the first half of that series was literally. I don't want to berate the writer too bad because they did change the writer after like the fourth episode. They went to the actual author of the book and it was so much better. But like it was so bad. It like so much damage was done. But we watched 3 or 4 episodes of it. We're like, fuck it, we gotta see where this ends up. So even though it was new, it looked new, it wasn't a rehash or something. We got sucked into it. I watched the whole thing in the end.
Like you said, because it's new, you're like, oh, I'll just keep watching this. But if that was a reboot of something you've watched before, you watch an episode 2 and go, yeah, this isn't as good, and you'll drop it and you won't even care what's about to happen. At least with a new show, even if it's bad, you're like, I know this is bad, but I'm kind of even just a little bit invested in where this story is gonna go, and just even if it's just to fucking hate it, just to be like, yeah, that cements it as garbage, but I'll watch it anyway. You know,
that's what we did actually. Every time we were going to watch Stranger, we didn't call it The Stranger. Just went, oh, let's watch our entertainment because it was that bad. It was so bad. We just laughed at it. We're like, okay, it completely didn't register with us that it was a thriller for I don't know how, like literally 4 or 5 episodes. We were just sitting there laughing at it. We're like, oh, this is going to be our entertainment for tonight. Then it just got good. The end. And we're like, god damn.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're definitely watching it as part of a group, it's a lot easier to get through a bad show because you can just take the piss out of it. You could just point out every flaw, every mistake, every little stupid detail that is added in.
Absolutely.
Which then could create, in a way, a fan base of its own. Of just like, if we get another season, no matter how much you hated the first season, you're going to go watch it again. You're going to go watch the next season with that same group in the hopes of taking the same piss. And hey, you never know, it might grab them and twist their opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't. With reboots, it's really, really hard to do that.
It's
almost
just
impossible.
It is. It's almost impossible. Like, because with a reboot, you're gonna have everyone interested in it automatically. They're gonna be like, okay, this looks interesting. This looks pretty good. But again, you're still gonna have so many people that are gonna be like, no, the original's gonna be better, obviously. But I feel like you're either gonna have a few people that's like that, and like a majority are gonna be like, okay, let's give it a chance, or you're gonna have everyone, absolutely everyone, be like, no, this looks shit, and not watch it.
Exactly. Yeah. But the Rugrats is on Paramount Plus. So none of the ones you said.
What? I forget about that so often.
Yeah, and like Paramount Plus, all I've heard that they're doing so far are reboots. iCarly reboot, now this Rugrats reboot. What's next? Like, are they just gonna do Victorious reboot? Like, are they just gonna start throwing reboots of Drake and Josh? Like, what's going on here?
No, there's no way they could do that. I'm sure even Josh,
they could get desperate.
Or Drake Bell, they can.
But see, they could be like, yeah, Josh Peck wouldn't come back and all that.
No.
But they would. I wouldn't put it past them just going, okay, let's just recast, start again.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the amount
Oh,
of hatred, there'd be
that's
riots.
that's financial suicide right there, because
Oh,
you're gonna invest so much money and it's going to be trash, no matter how good it is. It's gonna be trash just because it's not the original cast, and you're trying to just do the same thing again. Like it just won't work. You just gotta leave
no.
things alone. Start again. Do the same. If you want to do something like Drake and Josh, do it. Do a two brother story thing that is similar to it, but it's not Drake and Josh. That's original in its own way. You know, to a certain degree. But it's definitely better than a reboot.
Yeah, well, you just described every single show from 2012 at this point. Well,
Yeah.
we had a pair of kings, Drake and Josh, all the fucking Zack and Cody's.
Yeah. Yeah.
What else can we go for?
Sweet Life and On Deck.
On two
Yeah.
forms, on sea and on land.
Yeah, we got two of them. And like even to just separate things of like sitcoms. We had Friends, then we had How I Met Your Mother, which is pretty much Friends just rehashed, and then we Big Bang Theory, which is Friends rehashed even more. You know, like at the end, but they all have their own following because they're
Yeah.
trying to be their own thing with a similar um say for
Dynamic?
similar style, dynamic and everything.
Style, yeah. Style is probably a better word for it, yeah.
Because it is their own story, but it's hitting to the fact why do people love Friends, because it's a group of friends and you saw their story or whatever. We could do that with a separate story of let's have a guy and how he met his wife, How I Met Your Mother. Great. Big Bang Theory, couple of nerds that fall in love. Great, there's a story there. You know, it's not trying to be like let's recast Rachel, Joey, everyone, and then just go again.
Imagine they went to recast Friends.
Oh my god, imagine.
Just saying it sounds blasphemous.
Yeah, like imagine like next year they're like, man, this like reunion did so well. Let's do a reboot of Friends with a whole new cast. Could you imagine? Oh my god.
I'm pretty certain people like it would like okay. You said 3 seconds ago that something would be financial suicide. If they tried to recast Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
This would like end the company. This
Oh,
would like
it
stop
would.
like TV.
Yeah, because I mean, love Friends, hate Friends, impartial about Friends. You cannot deny the impact Friends have had
yeah.
on TV and what it has done, and everything. Like the reason people gets paid so much money for doing a sitcom is because of Friends. It's because people were like, and I'm not taking anything away from Seinfeld. If anyone out there is a Seinfeld fan, they did it as well
Yeah.
at the same time as Friends. But Friends just had more of a media presence than Seinfeld anyway. And if they did that, oh, it would just be catastrophic completely. Could you imagine seeing
Absolutely.
some random fella playing Joey or Ross or stuff like that?
Because
It
they'd
just
always be
wouldn't
like
work.
forms of that. Like you just like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't even see him as trying to play Ross or Joey. You just see them trying to play a Ross or Joey character, and they just
Yeah,
it'd be so bad.
it would be atrocious. It would be terrible. But thank God they're probably not going to do that. I think with the reunion, they've raked in enough cash to leave Friends for a couple of years and then just forget about it. Uh,
Well, they've raked enough cash just this alone, and then all the hype over any form of merchandise.
oh, the amount of board games that are going to start coming out on about Friends.
Oh God.
There's already a bunch of Friends
Yeah.
board games out there, but even more now. Especially because like in the reunion they had a bunch of like behind the scenes stuff, so they're gonna start adding those style of questions now as well.
Yeah.
But I really just hope they just stop. Like I hope really soon we just move out of this phase of reboots, reunions, renewals, whatever you want to call it, whatever fucking new word they create to hide the fact that it's the same thing rehashed.
Yeah.
Just the originality, please, people.
Original, yeah, because there was a show called. Have you heard Debris?
Debris, no. Oh, I
Yeah,
saw they got cancelled.
he literally, yeah, was what I love. What I absolutely not love. Sorry, that's real mean. What I find hilarious is on Screen Rant. It's where we get most of our stuff. In fairness, from Instagram, we get a load of different sites. We compile all here. One of the things on literally like 2 days ago is like what we can expect from Debris season 2, and then this morning, 17 hours ago, this Debris cancelled after season 1. Like, wow, that was fast.
Yeah, and I heard it's good though. Like I heard good things about Debris.
Yeah, but I've heard, but I haven't heard anything about it. That would be a lie if I say something else. But what I'm looking at here is similar to what we were saying about like to give us a good show or to get people like invested in it. This was one of the shows where it looked new, and the idea of it was good. So when people came in, it wasn't bad and it wasn't good. It wasn't like
Yeah,
really good, but it wasn't really bad. It was in the middle. So for a show that's gotten like, for a show that's okay, that's decent, you're not going to get a lot of watch time. If a show is really bad, people are going to hear the show is really bad and go, "Oh, I have to watch to see how bad it is." I'll watch it and give it more screen time. Something's really good, same effect. People hear it's really
yeah,
good, go and watch it, bring it up. But if this show is only okay, people aren't going to watch it.
that's true. Yeah, like yeah, you're 100% right there. Like if something is atrocious, you'll hear about it. If something's fantastic, you'll hear about it. And then there's every other show that is decent, and no one hears about it. You
Mm.
know, you really want to be on either side of the spectrum to get some sort of screen time. So you're
Yeah.
probably right in saying that. But then the issue comes along here that NBC have a new show, new story, new completely new idea, and it's cancelled after season 1. But for shows that are getting rebooted, they'll go on for a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, and then NBC look at this and be like, "Hey, a Rugrats reboot got 4 seasons and raked in X amount of money." When we had a new stylish show, we got absolutely mauled. Let's just do reboots ourselves as well.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
any
it's really
original
annoying.
idea that is presented is just no. We're gonna go with
Mm.
something new, something old.
Yeah. What I do really like that shows are doing nowadays, I can't remember what show it's for. It's one of the new ones. It's a big new show. I think it might be the Lord of the Rings one. Is it? I can't remember. There's a show being directed at the moment, but what they said, what one of the headlines I saw was this show has gotten a director for the first 2 episodes, which means this guy is gonna direct the first 2 episodes of this show, and it's gonna change out. The kind of more famous example of that is the Mandalorian. I think
Mandalorian, yeah,
it's the best example of, because not like a lot of shows will have different um directors for different episodes, but it'll all be on a similar style. They'll look at it and go, "Oh, we need to keep it at this." But with
yeah,
the Mandalorian, they're just very different styles. You can easily see it.
yeah. And it
From like
is
the ones
weird
that
because
Bryce
you're
Dallas
like,
Howard did.
the story wouldn't change, but it's just the
Yeah.
style of writing. You can easily tell the style of writing
Mm.
changes when the director changes. Even though the story could be the exact same, even if it had one
Mm.
director, the style of the way it's presented on the screen is totally different, and it's insane how well it works.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. It worked really well, but each thing felt new. Each thing felt, because like there would be one thing where he like goes across 3 different planets, and it would be really exciting. And then there's one where he's stuck in an ice cave with a bunch of spiders, and it's really thrilling. And you're like, Jesus Christ, what
Mm.
the hell's going to happen? It's all just like it's all these different things. But what I like about it is it gives that area for original things, but it also gives, sorry, for original ideas to come into play. But it also gives like directors who may not be as well known or anything like that to like get a bit of a feel for
Yeah.
TV producing, TV directing, and stuff like that. So hopefully we'll see more things like that come in, more new directors, and more new original ideas and styles.
Yeah, and I feel like when you do something like that, in that maybe every second episode is a new director or something, it
Mm.
can also avoid complacency, in the
Yeah.
sense that like you especially see it in Game of Thrones at the end when they're like, okay, let's not kill anyone off. Like, let's play it safe here. But if you have a new director coming in, they don't give a shit. All they want is that their episode is the best episode on this season. So if that
Yeah.
episode means killing off Jon Snow, then that's what needs to be done. Obviously, like that's a bit of a exaggerated example, but it also just avoids one person playing it safe to keep their job. You know, it continues to just add flair and flair, to
Yeah.
the seasons.
Because if you're a director, you want your thing to look the most stylish, or you want it to be the most. You want it to be your style that shines out through it all.
Yeah.
And like if you say they did change writers per one, and this I'd either hate or love to be the writer that has to write out a character right before you hand it off to someone else. Because you're like, I'd love it because I'm like, good luck with this. This is my big like foray and finale into it. But at the same time, I'm like, I feel so bad. You have to go through this. I was like, I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
yeah, true. And like, yeah, and it goes the same thing. It's like you're not playing it safe. You
No.
know, like you go out and you're trying to be, because like when the Mandalorian episodes come out, it come out once a week. So it comes out and then they're like, wow, this director's style was amazing, and it gets a certain reception. And then the next one, when the new director comes in, it's like, wow, this guy did this. So they get their own kind of like publicity from their own set of episodes, and
Oh yeah.
it's not just one guy doing the whole thing. Or
Yeah,
from
Bryce Dallas
one
Howard
girl.
got a whole load of recognition from
Yeah.
her 2 episodes. Everyone went on about it. I remember seeing the headlines that like her name in it saying that she did this. I was like, that's
Yeah,
really
and
cool.
sure she got some load of jobs out of it as well.
Incredible
Insane
amounts.
amount of jobs.
Deservedly.
Yeah, 100%. And could that have happened if she directed the whole thing? Maybe, but maybe not. You know. But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a new thing, because that's definitely a new thing that they've started to add in TV shows, just having a bunch of different directors. But it's definitely working for the ones that are doing it properly, like The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
And
it
like you said,
definitely
the Lord of
works.
the Rings looks like they're going to be doing it too.
Is Lord of the Rings, is that the one that's doing
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
it? Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty much it for this. Then there's only a few other small things like if you see Oscar Isaac teasing Moon Knight. I also don't know why it's why this is all still teasing. We know he's in it.
Yeah, we know he's in it.
What was the group
Yeah, you
I
told me
said to
the
you
other day.
yesterday? I think it was Nerdist or something like that. They came out and I was like, what was it? Oscar Isaac confirms being cast for Moon Knight Marvel show. I'm like, no shit. We told people about that before you did.
yeah. It's been confirmed for months without on
It's
end.
been
Like,
confirmed for a while.
yeah. They probably just got an interview with him and are trying to buff it out.
Oh, imagine.
But yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But anyway, we'll move on.
Sorry.
Someone is
Yeah, we move on. Just before I say, I misread a headline. I thought it said 100 prequel shows in development. I was like, what? I was like, no, it's the 100 prequel show is in development. I was like,
oh god.
oh my god.
That would have been so bad.
We wouldn't be going on from TV anytime soon. But yeah, let's move on.
100. Yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah, let's move on. Movies?
Sure.
I have my list on my phone. I have to go get that now.
Well, we can.
Okay.
There's some pretty decent things in this.
Okay, so I guess we'll hit with the big story of the week. I guess Amazon making the big money moves.
Oh yeah, is it a big money move?
Well, big money in like they spend a lot of money.
Okay, in that case, yes.
Yes, for the ones that don't know what occurred, Amazon bought MGM Studios, which is pretty much only known for making 007 films at this stage. I don't know what else they've made in the last couple of years.
I implore you to try and find a thing that says MGM and not have James Bond in it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God, I don't even know what they've made in there. Like,
I'm currently looking it up to see if I can find something.
yeah, like all I see is just 007, Wizard of Oz, Gone with the Wind,
Gone with the Wind, God.
The Addams Family. I mean, they made A Star Is Born. That was a good film.
Okay, yeah.
Um, but anyway, Amazon bought them for $8.45 billion, which is a
I'd like to
lot of
just
money.
see. I'd like to just see 8 point. I'd like to see 8 million. I'd like
Yeah,
to see 1 million. I'd like to see 500 grand. But companies deal in billions.
in billions, 8.45 billion for a company. I mean, I feel like that is way too much.
Oh, hang on. I need
Way
to
too
check
much.
something. How
I
much
I
did?
saw a thing that said that Disney paid less for Star Wars and Marvel put together than Amazon just paid for that.
You literally read my mind with it. I wanted to see how much they spent for like Star. I just wanted to say Star Wars, just a name for Star Wars. It was like 2 billion, wasn't it? It was like 2.1 billion.
Yeah, yeah, or maybe it just could have been like 1 billion, and then like back then I was like, oh my god, that's insane. Um, but I don't know. I feel like they must have some sort of a plan if they're going to be
They
spending that
must.
much money. Um, on pretty much a dead studio, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's not even that it's a dead studio. It's the fact that there's just nothing there. Like you
Yeah,
had the James
and I
Bonds.
saw a thing that said, oh yeah, here it is. Sorry, Marvel Entertainment, they bought them for 4 billion, and Star Wars they bought it for 4 billion. So, so they paid 8 billion for the two massive things, and
They
they and Amazon paid more for MGM.
twice as more for one.
Yeah, for
They
one thing. Yeah.
Disney spent 8 billion on two money printing machines, while Amazon spent 8.9 billion on this.
On this, yeah, and I read somewhere that they bought MGM, but they didn't even get the rights. And bear with me here, they
Oh
didn't get
no.
rights to the Wizard of Oz
Okay.
or Gone with the Wind. Like,
Okay.
of the three biggest things that have come out of that, they didn't get two of them. Like,
Yeah.
they got one. They got 007. That's it. Like, of the other two massive things to come out of that studio, Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. I mean, Gone with the Wind is the most, it's the highest grossing film of all time adjusted to inflation.
Yeah.
Um, it's made like, I think it's like 2 billion more than like the Titanic, adjusted to inflation, which is absolutely insane. And they didn't even get the rights to it, so they can't even put it on Amazon Prime. Like, that's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, and I feel like that is probably because both the things you mentioned there were from 1939. For like, if you say MGM, and like for anyone who said what to those three letters, pretty much the
Yeah.
last huge thing that they pretty much came out with was besides the James Bond thing, from what I can see at least. I guess I assume the Hobbit, because the Hobbit also wasn't that great. Um, that's still James Bond. Like, okay, Creed was out in 2015, so they got that, and Star is Born, so they got those two things going for them.
But
But
yeah,
anything else, it's
anything
just
else is
nothing. Everything else is back in the 50s,
in the 80s.
50s,
Yeah, they don't make
80s.
like, obviously Rocky. Like, I mean, Rocky was massive, but again, that was back in the day. Like,
Yeah,
and I don't think like they already. Maybe they did it for Hobbit rights, but
maybe.
would you pay that much just for the Hobbit rights?
But you'd assume that, like, if you have the rights to Lord of the Rings, that the Hobbit will come with it because it's part of that. It's part of that. Like, I know it's Lord of the Rings trilogy, but a Hobbit
Maybe.
is still part of that storyline. And I conceive the Silmarillion isn't part of it, of that series, because the
Yeah.
Silmarillion is like the entirety of it. So I would
They must
assume
have. They
the
must
Hobbit.
have something planned.
They
They
must.
must. They can't. like this looks absolutely insane because it doesn't look like they have anything bar like 007 that would be of any interest to them. So
Yeah, that's
they
viable.
must have some sort of an idea that they think is going to make them make this return, like to
Mm.
earn more than what they paid for this. Like they're going to want to be earning this money back, maybe not in the first 5 years, but if they don't earn that back in 6, 7, 8 years,
Mm.
like they definitely made a bad investment here.
Yeah, like when it comes, okay, I'll be completely honest. When it comes to like assets and stuff like that, to like studios and companies, whether it be game, movie, TV, whatever, I am a bit stupid. So when they say they bought MGM Studios, what does that like? What's that actually give them access to? Does it give them access to like their equipment? Does it give like their buildings and shit like that, or is it like I know it's more than just their rights to their movies and stuff like that, but like what
Yeah.
do they actually have from all this?
So like what they have, obviously, like you said, bar the rights to all their films and all the film rights that they own, they also have the right to just use that studio and that logo to create movies. So like
Okay.
if they Amazon could have, because if they own, I don't know, let's say they, just a hypothetical, they own Star Wars,
Hmm.
right? They could team up with MGM to create a Star Wars show or a Star Wars movie or something like that. So they do have all their resources, whatever it may be, like a studio, like cameras and all that to be used
Hmm.
as well. And it's obviously now funded by Amazon. So anything that MGM is going to produce not only has to go through the MGM board of directors, now it also has to go through Amazon. So Amazon now have to like greenlit everything. So I
Okay.
guess it has to go through more stages, but now there's more money available.
Okay.
You know,
I
because now Amazon can fund them.
yeah, I figured that they could like use um them to make movies stuff like because that's like what like again video game studios do that as well. So I kind of like that, and that's what kind of baffles me. I wanted to make sure that they definitely use their equipment and their own assets and shit like that. But MGM aren't like next gen. They're not like
Yeah,
they're not pathfinders in the whole um systems and what I'm trying to think of a word, equipment, all that type of stuff.
yeah,
They're not pathfinders in this thing. They're just there. So it baffles me more because fucking like look at Marvel. How much CGI has developed purely because of those movies
yeah,
and Star Wars stuff like that. And now we have MGM.
yeah. And I'm trying to think. I'm trying to justify this purchase because it's
Same.
a bit insane in my head, and the only way I could kind of justify this is because Amazon are trying to create more original stuff, but don't have the facilities,
Mm.
the equipment to create those um, originals that they want to create. But now by owning the studio, they can create those originals through them rather than having to maybe rent out a studio or rent out equipment to record this. Now they have all this equipment owned by MGM that they're and that is at their disposal. Um, maybe for originals, but I honestly don't know.
Hopefully.
I'm just trying to justify this purchase because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. It doesn't. It really doesn't make any sense.
Like it makes sense to buy something, but to spend this much money, that's what I'm going at. Like if Amazon would have paid 2 billion for them, we probably wouldn't even be talking about it.
No, absolutely
It's
not.
just the fact that you can compare Marvel and Star Wars put together cost pretty much the exact same thing as MGM when those two things will be making them billions upon billions upon billions for the next who knows fucking how long. But MGM just doesn't have that, like, oh, it just doesn't make sense. I just can't wrap my head around this.
Yeah, like Disney has Look at all the merchandise Disney even had. Like, you can't go into any shop at all, I think. Even a fucking pound shop or a euro shop, which is here. You can't go into one of those shops and not see something Disney related. Whether it be a
Oh
fucking
yeah,
birthday card or a sweet or something. Every shop has something Disney related. Even shoe shops have shit that's
yeah.
Disney
Oh yeah,
related.
yeah.
You don't have things that are MGM related.
No, like, oh god, it's just I don't get it. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you told me they paid that much for Warner Bros, I would have been like, yeah. I mean,
Okay, yeah.
you got DC, you got Scooby Doo, like you got loads of things coming out of Warner Bros. But MGM, I don't know. There must be something in it. Like, there must be something. They can't just have paid that much money to just like just cause they can. You know, there must be something in the works,
Mm.
and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's gonna happen, because if someone's paying that much, they must have something coming, and
Mm.
I hope it's good, because otherwise this purchase is gonna hurt them real bad.
Yeah, I think when you said that you're looking forward to it, it's not necessarily of like, oh, I think it could be good. It's more so the entertainment out of what the fuck are they gonna pull out their ass with this?
Yeah, exactly. Like they must be, they're gonna pull something out of
Oh
this.
yeah,
Which kind of worries me, because I have a feeling that they're just gonna milk James Bond to the ground. Like,
it's already been. There's 24 fucking movies.
I mean, it's been milked, but I feel like they might start to create like a TV show and spin-offs, and just maybe have like an MI6 TV show with like many different spin-offs of 008, 007,
Give
0010.
us the young Bond. Give us the young Bond thing. This isn't the first time we've said.
Yeah,
Remember
young
back
Bond.
when
Yeah.
when Tom
Back.
Holland said
Oh
something?
God, yeah. That he said that he
Um,
would like to be his. Yeah.
yeah, like he'd look good in like he could look good in a young suit or some shit like that. He like hinted at a young Bond thing. Give us a young Bond thing. Those books are good. Give Charlie Hickson
Very
some more
good.
fucking rights to go for it. Absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, I
What?
honestly don't know what's gonna come of this.
No idea. Was it you that was saying that there's rumors that Disney are looking to get DC as well?
Yeah, that was me. It looks like Disney are kind of thinking about buying rights to the DCU, the DC characters, DC Comics. Oh God!
That must be
First of
illegal.
all, it has to be, because they will have a complete monopoly on superheroes.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, but oh God, don't let this happen.
No, because the one thing that we've been calling for DC, not Disney, DC, and some Disney things actually, in fairness, the one thing we've been calling for most movie things like this is get grittier, get darker. You
Get
have
darker,
your own style of heroes, which is more dark and not as colorful as the Marvel Universe. Marvel Universe, for me, was always that bit more brighter future, happier ending. Even though there's a lot
Yeah.
of hopeful is a better word. I know there's a lot of dark things before we get that. I know I've seen some of the Spider-Man things, real dark as shit, completely just
Yeah, it
demented.
can get dark. Yeah.
Oh, can get, but DC has always had a bit more of that edgy edge on it.
Yeah, like, I mean, every character has a tragic beginning. Like, pretty much every superhero, both Marvel and DC, have tragic starts. But like, for some reason, DC just really steers into the darkness of it.
Yeah.
Like those, like first thing that comes to mind is obviously Batman. Just
Yeah.
the darkness of the Batman comics is insane, and the villains, just the Batman villains, are some of the best villains out there, and
Yeah.
they're all just really dark. Like, the Joker can be played as a funny character, like we've seen before, but it can be really dark, like we've seen as well. But you
Let's
can't
just not forget Death of the Family. Fuck me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but but I don't see this happening.
No, I don't see it happening.
I don't see Disney buying them. I don't see them being allowed to buy them.
Yeah,
It'll definitely be vetoed or prevented in some sort of a way.
yeah, I'm sure some form of legal aspects going to come into play. Like, look, you have Marvel. It's almost just common sense. Like, if I was someone who was like, oh, should we buy this? I'm like, you have Marvel. You have so many superheroes in an arsenal at the moment. If you add
Yeah.
another one, if you add another like set of these like, I'm not even looking at like them keeping the dark and broodier style of DC. I'm just looking at like how you gotta manage all those
All
superheroes,
that.
and like not gonna happen.
No, not going to happen because there's clearly a massive divide right now in the sense of Marvel, DC, and there's always been that divide.
Mm.
And currently, Marvel is obviously winning that battle of it's just better movies, better quality of things coming out.
Mm.
And now if you add this other thing that you first of all have to revive, you have to get it up on, get it going.
Mm.
But now you have two things that are competing against each other in your own company. Like you have people that are loyal to DC and loyal to Marvel, and you're pinning them against you're pinning yourself against yourself. It
Mm.
doesn't make sense. And so, but yeah, I don't see it being allowed to happen. I don't see them even
No.
bothering to try. Um, I would like DC to just maybe be bought out by someone,
Mm.
or something to just get get them back on track.
It's not
But
gonna be Amazon.
Disney, God. Well, if Amazon did it, it wouldn't be the end of the world because they have the boys,
Yeah, no,
and
but it'll
that's
probably be
really
the end
good.
of Amazon with how their funds are going at this point.
Oh God, yeah, yeah, yeah. So like maybe Amazon isn't the worst idea, but definitely they're probably gonna have to wait a couple of years to
Mm.
to, to get their money back from this first one. But um, yeah, I don't see Disney buying it. I don't want them to buy it. I feel like they will ruin it. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
they will make it really like Marvel, just very cheery, very happy, very light-hearted, hopeful, and DC doesn't work like that.
Mm-mm.
I can't think of any DC film in recent years or even in the past, bar like Adam's West Batman that was successfully comedic,
Besides
and
Shazam,
lighthearted.
in fairness.
Shazam, yeah, Shazam was good actually. Yeah, I didn't think of that one, but everything else is darker, grittier. That has been successful.
Mm.
You know, like I guess like the Dark Knight trilogy is dark. Like it is not a hopeful like that whole Joker thing of like him trying to get him to kill the Joker is insane, and Bane beating the living lights out of Batman
Mm.
is, and like the torture and everything, like that wouldn't happen in a DC in a Marvel in
No.
a Disney setting. Like even now, like the just the whole speculation of like what's gonna happen to Deadpool. Is Deadpool
Mm.
going to be as dark and just edgy as it has been for the first two? Is the third one going to be similar? Like, is it going to be same gore, same effing and blinding? I don't know. Like, and they really can ruin Deadpool if they start to put like, no, you can't do that, you can't do that, because Deadpool is just out there. Like, he doesn't give a
Mm.
flying fuck.
Yeah, so when you look at even if you look at the villains with Marvel, so many of them are based on I want to thwart this one. Like so many of the main enemies in are I want to thwart this one superhero, and then the others come in and help, or I want to like take over the city, or I want to destroy this place, or something like that. With DC heroes, it's not just like I like with okay, the Joker is an easy one to go with. It is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and prove, or at least with the Dark Knight one, is like I'm gonna go prove that people can break just as easy as and like anyone can break. So
Yeah,
it's
even
like
the best, even the best of us can
yeah,
can go to the dark side. Like,
Yeah, like there's so like we could end it on that character without looking
Yeah,
at say fucking Scarecrow, who literally uses nerve toxins to fuck with people's minds,
yeah,
which I guess is kind of Sandman. Look like just you can leave that fucking Joker. He's just so fucked. But there's plenty of other. They all seem to have a much more personal agenda as opposed to
yeah.
just a control looking agenda.
Yeah, it's more of like if you look at like the biggest villains in Marvel, like Thanos, he
Mm.
doesn't necessarily have anything personal with them, and he says that he's like, this isn't personal. Like he just
Yeah.
wants. He says, I'm here to wipe out half the people to just, and that's it. That's what I'm going for.
Mm.
And like we um Ultron, that just wants to destroy the world. Nothing
Mm.
personal there. But when you get to the, like you said, the DC villains, there is that personal aspect. The Joker isn't looking to control the world. If anything, he's looking to, like, if you want to look at it, he's trying to control Gotham. But not even at that. He's trying. His whole thing is to cause chaos, and
Mm.
push the Batman to do things that he wouldn't, and just fucking drive him mad. So he's
Mm.
a thing against Batman. He doesn't have a thing against the world like the Marvel characters do. Um, but yeah, that's the difference between the two of them anyway.
Mm.
But yeah, do you have anything else you want to add here?
No, we've been going on this topic for a good long while.
Yeah, plenty of Marvel stuff anyway, and
Mm.
DC.
Marvel and DC.
No
Yeah.
shocker there.
No.
Always superhero stuff.
Except for this next thing.
yeah, I was gonna say. What is it?
Well, we've had a nice movie release that's doing pretty damn well, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is. It is doing pretty well, from what I've heard anyway.
From what I've heard as well, I'm still yet to see it, and I'm definitely going to see it purely because of Cillian Murphy.
Oof, that man.
That man.
But for those who don't know what we're on about, quite
Oh, yeah.
pleased to.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of like things on this film that someone goes into the film at the start, like they'd video themselves going to see A Quiet Place 2, and they're like really cheery and really happy, and then they come out and they're just like just in shock, in awe of just what occurred. I don't know what happens at the end.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens in the film, but I really, really want to watch this film.
I thought I'm going to be honest. I do really like the first one. There are, excuse me. I like the premise of it. I am a huge horror fan. If you don't know by now, but I can only agree when people say shit like they make some of the worst decisions in an apocalypse.
Oh.
Having a kid during a fucking apocalypse where the thing's main thing is hearing, dumb. It's
Dumb.
the worst thing. The
Stupid.
fucking worst. Stupid is fucking right. Stupid.
And yeah, that is stupid. And even the whole, like, okay, let's say it was an accident. Let's say, oops, we got pregnant. Why not have the baby at the waterfall?
Oh yeah.
If
yeah.
I can go to the waterfall and just scream my heart out and nothing's gonna happen to me, why not bring my pregnant wife there and deliver the baby there and then come home and we'll be good? Why have this whole fireworks setting off here, explosion over there? Just go
Soundproofed
to the waterfall.
fucking crib thing, which does not look like oxygen's getting in there for a good 40 seconds.
Yeah, and then like fucking why not just set up shop near the waterfall if it's that loud? Why not create a device that just continuously makes more noise at the waterfall so you can live an over life?
Actually, this is
You know?
something I do. Okay, I again want to make it clear. I love this movie. I really think it's good. If they're really attracted to noise and stuff like that, and like as
Yeah.
soon as something happens, they're going to go to it. I guess it's because of how loud it is. But like, if like, if they're attracted to noise, would there not be constant activity around this fucking waterfall? Would there not be
Mm,
constant like movement around the place that they couldn't even get to it? So when he like John Krasinski brings his son to this place, I'm surprised they're not ambushed by like 9 of them because they're like, there's so much noise. What's going around here? There must be something going on. They haven't figured it out yet because they're not that old. They're monsters. They're only there for about a year and a half at this point.
yeah, and yeah, I see what you're coming from, but it's also a thing of um, like they're used to just there being a constant level of noise, right? So like, let's say if the room is quiet, okay, this is the level that is going on right here. So if I hear a click, anything, well, I know there's something here. But if in the waterfall there's just constant noise, that is like if there was no noise. There's no noise
Okay,
here.
yeah.
And then if something louder than the waterfall occurs, now I know there's something there. And then they go. I think that's kind of what they're. I mean, that's
Okay,
kind of a way of justifying it. That it's just
yeah.
they know this is the constant level of sound that's going on here. So if something louder occurs here, there's something here that I want. I think.
Okay, yeah. Okay, saying the whole if there's a constant level of a certain noise, it's like there's no noise. That does make it
Yeah.
that does justify it in fairness. Because if it was like, because in my mind, if there's so much noise around a certain area, you'd expect something to be staying around there because of so much noise that they're attracted to noise. But if it's
Yeah.
a sense that it's always there, it just kind of like doesn't. It's just the same. It's something that's natural or something like that, and they just go away from it. Yeah, as an ecologist, I really should have figured that out, honestly. But yeah, that does make plenty of sense.
I think that's kind of what they're going at. I definitely do believe that maybe at the beginning of this whole apocalypse thing, there would have been a lot of activity near the waterfall, but then
Okay.
it becomes a thing of like, there's nothing here. This is just the white noise. This is just the constant noise here. There's nothing going on here unless something louder occurs. So they move on. That's kind of where I think. Um, I kind of think that would happen, but why not set up shop there, or even just give
Yeah,
birth there?
just
Um,
give birth there.
just yeah, like her screams aren't going to be louder than the waterfall, especially if you're in that little cave that they were in.
Hmm.
I mean, nothing's going to hear you there, so that would have probably been safer. But again, it doesn't make for good TV. It doesn't make for a
No,
good
that's the
good
thing.
show. You know.
I guess like they did have an entire farm by the house and stuff like that. Like they
Yeah.
were. So I think the whole idea was just let's just um stay at the farm, but at the same time, I don't like. I would if I was in that situation. I had the farm. I just spend the nights in that waterfall. I know like that loud
Yeah.
noise would probably, but like a waterfall is nice and soothing. I know it's really fucking loud, but hey, look, it's a waterfall. It's nice and soothing. It would save your
That's
fucking
true.
life after a while.
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I agree with you there. But another thing is like who they know that they have to be super quiet. They've
Hmm.
created this path of like whatever it is, like sand or whatever they put, so they know
Hmm.
where to stand. So there's no crinkling of leaves and crackling of sticks. But they decide not to check if there's batteries in a toy.
Yeah.
like I know like they probably the parents didn't know, but even the child should have just kind of had a bit of a brain and gone, we're not
Or
meant
was
to
he
make
given the
noise.
batteries? Was he given the batteries, or were they
Oh
in there
no,
since the
they do
beginning?
take out the batteries, but he
They
picks them
do.
back up, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was
Oh
because I was
yes,
like,
okay,
no,
never mind
they
then,
must
never mind.
surely give. I for some reason in my head I remember him putting them back in, but at the same
Yes, you're
time,
right, you're right,
like,
because they take him out and they leave him there, and he goes back and gets them and puts them back into the toy.
yeah,
Why would first of all why would you put them at a child's reach? Um,
true.
why not keep them? Why not put them in your bag? You could use batteries for something.
Yeah, batteries
Lights,
are a very viable, not viable, a very important resource in an
very.
apocalypse.
If you have a flashlight, fucking, you need batteries.
You need
Like
batteries.
so. But I mean, it had for a good story. So, but I am really looking forward to seeing
Mm.
this film because just
It's
like you said, Cillian Murphy.
oh yeah,
I want to see his character because he does look like a bad guy, but a good guy too.
Yeah, that's
It's
an
kind of like a
interesting
bit
thing.
of both. Like,
Mm.
um, I seen that John Krasinski is in it. A little
It's a
bit.
flashback, I assume.
Flashbacks. I'm assuming as well. Um, but apparently they said, is Emily Blunt in that?
Yeah, absolutely. She's
Yeah,
the main person.
Emily Blunt. Yeah, she said that there is probably going to be a trilogy. Like this will be a trilogy film,
All
or
right.
so that she said that there is a third one already, like being written and developed.
Mm.
Fair play to John Krasinski though. Like he wrote and directed and starred in in the film,
Mm.
and it did really well. I
And
wouldn't
this
say it's a
was,
horror film though. Would you say it's a
yeah,
horror film?
I would say it's a horror. It's a sci-fi horror.
Okay,
I would say it's a horror movie because there's a lot of
I say
tension
it's more
in
of
it.
a thriller
Yeah,
than
I
a
could
horror
also
movie
see it
maybe.
being a thriller, but I say it's. See, I see nowadays we're so polluted with the jump scare horror that we're like,
Yeah.
if we don't see a jump scare every now and again, we just don't think it's a horror anymore. This is
Okay.
when I watch this, I always kind of think of like it's more old school. I don't even want to say Alien because Alien has like very effective jump scares in it as well, but like it's definitely in that type of vein of there's a lot of tension and like every single time you're watching it, you're like up in like you're
Yeah,
up in a heap. Like this is
you're
the first
worried.
Alien.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in the first Alien, it's one alien, and it's hardly on screen time, so you're constantly afraid of something that's not really there. Like Jaws, but Jaws is a thriller.
Like
I
Jaws.
know
Yeah.
Jaws
A
is
horror.
actually it seems a horror as well. So yeah, not in that sense, it's also like Jaws because it's no jump scares necessarily. The one jump scare you have is when Brody was shoving in the chum into the water and it comes out the water or the dead body falling down. So there's a few things like that, but the majority of it is tension. So I would
Tension.
say it's a
Yeah,
horror,
yeah.
yeah.
So I suppose so. Yeah, yeah. I guess. Yeah. I guess. I feel like, for me, like horror films are something jumping out at you and
Mm.
something screaming in your face, scary, not a suspenseful scary. Yeah.
Yes,
But yeah,
there it is. That's what I was saying. Like
there's
a
two
low,
different types of scary. Yeah.
yeah, and I much prefer the tense. You know, a jump scare thing is fun, and you hate them because you and Harry say we're sadistic for liking that type of stuff. We're masochistical in fairness, because who would? Because it's just an adrenaline rush. But I would
Yeah.
prefer that tense scariness.
Yeah, I definitely do too. Anyway, but
I will say,
yeah.
A Quiet Place 1 is a more accessible horror movies for people who are not into horror. Because my mother watched it. She's not a good horror person either, but she really enjoyed it. So it's
I'm not
really
a horror
good.
film, and I love the film.
There you are.
Yeah.
So it's really good though. To go back to the trilogy thing for a second, it's really enlightening to see it doing so well. Because
Yeah.
now I'm looking for like I'm not beyond saying okay, give me a trilogy, give me the last movie, but don't give me a happy ending.
Yeah. Don't give me a happy ending. Like what? And I guess before we move on, because we're running out of time, is
Sorry.
the what just amazes me with the first film is that the film is fantastic with only 25 lines of voice dialogue. There's only 25 voice lines. Everything else is sign language.
Fuck.
And that makes it all the better. Like
25.
there is less than 5 minutes as a collab of spoken dialogue in A Quiet Place.
Fuck.
That is, and to be able to hold the audience for however long, if the film's 2 hours long, to hold them for an hour and 55 minutes of just silence and just sign language, and keep them invested in the film is unbelievable with no dialogue other than the sign language.
Fucking
It's
hell.
really, really impressive.
I didn't know that was
Um,
that little.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it is that little, but it is very little.
Mm.
Which is very impressive. And it's also very impressive that the girl that's deaf in the film, she's actually deaf in real life, and she taught them all sign language, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Um,
That gives a bit more of an intimacy then with the characters and stuff. But
it does, yeah. But yeah, we'll move on to the video games.
Oh, I thought we were on to something else entirely. I'm not even
Oh.
looking at the time. Oh God, yeah.
Bro.
Okay, video games.
Yeah. Yeah, we better move on swiftly here.
Swiftly. Okay,
Uh,
quickly. You got Biomutant.
I got Biomutant. I did buy Biomutant. I'm loving it. I really, really enjoying it. But like we didn't say before, well, we're gonna say it now because of more research that we put into it and me
True.
buying it and stuff. No, you should, if you're thinking of getting it and you're not sure, you're on the fence. You should know that it's definitely not a AAA.
No.
Definitely not AAA. So you shouldn't be expecting Witcher 3, Skyrim, Red Dead Redemption type of RPG.
Mm.
It is definitely, you can tell the budget level was a lot lower than those AAA games.
Yeah.
Now, that does not mean the game isn't fun. It is insanely fun. Lots of customizations, lots of personalization. Combat is hard and will definitely get a lot of getting used to. But I would recommend it for anyone that is, I guess, trying to get into RPGs or is relatively new to RPGs
Mm.
and is trying to get into that style of game. This is definitely a game to get the ball rolling in that genre.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would recommend definitely for
Cool.
anyone in that aspect. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Just
What?
to get that bit out of the way.
Yeah, just to get it out of the way, I guess. I don't know if you've seen this. There
Oh.
has been a lot of talk of Sonic.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
have
seen
seen
that?
this.
An insane amount of talk about Sonic because I've seen a lot of things that Sonic games are coming to consoles. Like really old games are coming back into next gens and stuff. And then they're also developing a lot of Sonic games in the background that a lot of people weren't even aware of,
Mm.
which is very strange because I mean I haven't heard of a Sonic game in I've no idea
God.
how long.
Sonic
This is
games.
probably inspired by how well the film was received.
Probably inspired.
Uh, definitely inspired.
Absolutely inspired. Yeah.
I I like Sonic. I mean, I'm a big Sonic guy. But I do prefer the side scroller Sonic.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of 3D Sonics.
Yeah. There. Okay. When was the last? Okay, Sonic Forces was probably. Is that the one I'm thinking of? Is that the you get to make your own character type of shit? I think it is. Yeah, Sonic Forces I think was the last pretty big one.
Yeah.
Was like the last one that did pretty well. Because, but after that,
Yeah.
you had like Sonic Runner Adventures and Sonic Boom, Jump Fever, I don't
Sonic
know.
Olympics and all that jazz.
Yeah, I wouldn't even count them as them because
They were fun.
they're fun, but it's Mario and Sonic, so it's not just Sonic.
Yeah.
But I like Sonic Generations. I'm like, and let's not even get into how broken some of these games are. If none of you has even
Oh,
watched
God.
Game Grumps for more than 10 minutes, you don't know how broken some of these games are.
Oh, unbelievably broken.
Oh.
And it just thrives at being broken.
Yeah, it's one of those things of they're so shit they get bought to see just how bad they are.
And they're really bad. So
Oh, we
the,
can't. We
the
can't.
glitches
Fucking,
and just the going through walls and just skipping half the level is
that's the
insane.
best part of it. That's like
Oh,
that's like the lesser
that's-
side of the glitches, the constant
Yeah.
breaking of walls.
But yeah, I guess it kind of just took me by surprise the amount of Sonic news that we got.
Hmm.
Not set in stone, but I mean I like a good Sonic game. I'm a big Knuckles fan. If anything, I would prefer a Knuckles game. But I guess I don't know. I probably wouldn't buy a Sonic game to be honest. If I'm really,
No.
really, really honest, I wouldn't. And I wouldn't say it's advertised for me either. But yeah, I guess this is good news for anyone that likes Sonic.
Yeah, in fairness. Again, as you said, out of absolutely nowhere.
Nowhere, and it was so strange. I just saw so much news about it. It really threw me off.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I do love a good side scroller. Sonic, like back in the day,
Yeah.
they were fun. They were really really fun. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. On to the bigger news now.
okay, what you got?
Far Cry 6. Oh
Far Cry
no.
6. It doesn't look great.
I'm gonna like yeah jump right out the bat and say oh no, not even necessarily of like its graphical qualities. Yeah, it doesn't look as good as five. Five, yeah, if I was yeah, it looks so much better than it. This doesn't look good. My issue with it is
Okay.
summarized pretty well by someone in an Instagram post comment section. Said it just looks like Just Cause 4 without Rico, which is 100% right. It looks kind of stupid.
Yeah. Um. It definitely when the trailer first came out, I was definitely on board. I definitely saw it and I was like, this is going to be pretty cool.
The one with just
And
Giancarlo Esposito in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, and now seeing gameplay, seeing the character trailers, I'm not convinced.
No.
Not convinced at all. Not yet, anyway. They're definitely gonna have to do some convincing to get me back into this, but
Mm.
it's pretty disappointing because I was looking forward to Far Cry 6.
Yeah. Now, my main issue with this, like, there's a weird jetpack looking thing in it. You can like launch a missile
Oh, the
barrage from
fucking I saw that.
like
Yeah,
your backpack or something. Like that's what's getting me. If that just wasn't there at all, I'd be okay with it. If they didn't put in the whole like buzzsaw fucking launcher thing that looks it's just CDs type of weapon that's
have
in
you
it.
seen that though?
Yeah,
That's really funny though,
it's funny,
because
but
it's a CD that's actually playing, and then like so it's playing Hey Macarena
yeah,
as you're walking around, and then when you shoot it, it stops playing, and then you reload it, and it starts playing again.
yeah.
Like that's funny, but it's stupid.
It's funny, but I don't think it has a place in the Far Cry game. That's funny, and
Yeah.
I could see it so easily in a Just Cause game. But this
Mm.
is my love for this is even some of the like slightly more outlandish things, like say the shovel launcher in what you call it, just call not Just Cause Far Cry 5. I think that wasn't a DLC thing. That still has a slight amount of merit to it because you can alter an RPG to fire something like that. You like that is within the realms of
Yeah.
possibility. But like some of the weapons that are in this, they were done in what was it, Far Cry New Dawn, which is that post-apocalyptic one, and they're all in that. And it has a
Yeah.
place in that because it's a post-apocalyptic
It's
game. That's
post-apocalyptic. Yeah.
yeah,
You
it's
just gotta
stupid.
adapt with what you have.
Yeah, so it's fine, but this isn't.
Yeah. Um.
It lacks that
Yeah,
realism to
and
it.
it does lack that realism to it, and because like, okay, they are wherever it's set. I'm not sure where it's set, but it is set in a by the looks of it, like a communist country that is controlled by one dictator. So there will be a lot of poor divide and stuff like that. But like you said, to create these guns just doesn't make sense. Like
Yeah.
you can't get guns, normal guns. Uh, and I also feel like one of the things that attracts people to Far Cry is not just the story and the action, but also the hunting aspect of it,
Mm.
of having to go hunt to get leather and meat and things like that to craft other things. I feel like they're really moving away from this. I'm not sure about Far Cry 5 how much of that was still in it.
There was a good. There was some bits like I remember in Far Cry 4. It was like I could start crafting stuff pretty much off the bat. I could probably get like I could go to certain places, get a few pieces of like animal fur, and I could start crafting a lot earlier. Some like easier things. I don't have a reason from what I've played on Far Cry 5. I play a bit more. I probably played a bit more Far Cry 5 than you did actually at this point. From my
Yeah.
playtime in that game, I never found myself reaching for craftables. I've never found myself going, "Oh, I need to get this resource so I can craft things." In Far Cry 4 and I think 2, was there crafting in 2? I don't think there was crafting in 2, but in 4 I was always reaching for crafting things, but it was always fun to go for it. It was a really nice
Yeah.
addition to it. 5 just didn't feel as necessary.
Yeah, like it's like you can craft if you want.
Mm.
It's not like you have to go out of your way to go kill a certain animal to get their fur to craft this item. Now it's kind of like, I mean, you can find something in a loot box somewhere, and that'll do
Yeah.
just as good. Um, and then the other thing that I guess is kind of, I don't know why they're like marketing it like this, but they've pretty much said that you can do the mission, you can do any mission at any stage at any point. Like there's no like set order that you have to go do these missions. Like you can
Okay.
just start wherever you want and do whatever you want. But that's pretty much any RPG at this stage. Like
Mm.
realistically, even if you go back to like Wildlands, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
like, here's the
Famous.
provinces. Do whichever province you want.
Mm.
Start with any low level person that you want and do whatever order you want. So like this isn't revolutionary.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. Like, and the story was set to be good,
Mm.
but now it's not looking great.
Mm.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced.
Yeah. It's probably the last thing
Really
we'll
not
say.
convinced.
This will be the last thing I'll say about it because we're time was of the essence. But I still think Giancarlo Esposito is going to give a really good performance in it, and I'm
Oh,
going to be
100%.
saddened if they properly like. I think he could save the game still, but my issue with it is if the saw blade shit is in it and that type of stupid stuff is in it, and you have a really serious boss, it it's not going to fit that well. There's going to be like weird comedic elements to a real serious undertone. But
Yeah.
I really hope Esposito can do a really. I know he'll do a really good job. Look at the other villains he's done in the past. He will do a really good job at it. But I think he's going to be wasting it if it's going to be as stupid as I think it's going to be.
Yeah, it's definitely. I I don't know how stupid they're going with this. Like, I don't know how far they're gonna push these elements of the game.
Mm.
Could it just be a marketing ploy at the moment to just be like as a gag and just kind of start the ball rolling, but it won't be a big aspect of the game. I hope that's it's going to be, but at the moment it doesn't look like that. I hope it's good though. I really want a good Far Cry game
Yeah.
because especially because I've been looking forward ever since it got announced. So I guess we'll just have to wait till there's more gameplay, there's more update on graphics because the graphics look very poor at the moment.
Mm.
Very disappointing graphics. Um, so we'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to wait for this. Hopefully, they'll do a not game, Halo Infinite thing, and just get a nice little big reboot.
Change.
Mm. And speaking of
Yeah.
a game like that, there's a lot of, how would you say, reveal events that's coming up,
Yeah.
which is why I kind of want to focus on for the last 10 or so minutes of it. So, like, we have an Xbox and Bethesda together. That's incredible. I can't wait for that.
Yes. Big.
That's big because apparently Microsoft or Xbox at least have like 5 new games. Now that's
At
5 games,
least, yeah.
and that's new. That's not one. That's ones that we haven't been working on that they haven't seen yet. Sorry, this is 5 new games that we don't know about. So 5 of them. That's a good chance one's going to be good.
At least one.
At least
We
one.
hope anyway.
For the love of God, let one be pretty damn fucking good.
That's on the 13th of June.
13th.
So that's coming pretty close.
Cool. We also have E3 at some point, What do you have a list there?
No, I'll look it up though. E3 is always massive.
E3 is always big. Um, Even if it can have some
June 12th.
June 12th. Wait, so was it on 13th?
13th, yeah.
So it must be like the E3.
It might be part of
Yeah, I'd
E3
say that's
then,
like the reveal. Yeah, okay, so I say most of these things are going to be like part of
Actually,
E3. Yeah. BlizzCon isn't happening. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't think a lot of people give a shit anymore.
BlizzCon? Is that like Blizzard?
Blizzard, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anyone cares. I don't even think they have anything in the works other than like probably Overwatch 2.
That's
um,
it though.
even at that.
They might have World of Warcraft updates or some shit, but that's literally it. For a game developer that's so big, they have such a lack of games.
Yeah, and they've cancelled it, and they're blaming the shtick, but um, they're blaming the shtick, but I don't think it is the shtick.
No, I don't think the shtick is the cause for this at all.
I think they're just like, we have pretty much nothing, and we're gonna look like what Nintendo did a couple of weeks ago, of just saying shit that we already know or don't care about, and just are blaming it on this to cancel it.
Yeah.
And hoping that next year will be a better year for them. Because I mean, Overwatch 2 was announced maybe 2 years ago, 3 years
More,
ago,
yeah.
more, and nothing has come out about it. Nothing. And I mean, how hard can it be to make Overwatch 2? Like, I don't think it needs it, and I think it's going to be pretty. Like, it's just going to be an expansion packet, if anything. It could be a DLC to Overwatch. So I think they're struggling to come up with something.
Yeah, for such a creative company, damn, are they worried? Are they just?
Oh yeah.
Just can't do it.
Oh god.
Yeah. Well,
No.
like
Is there any more showcases?
Besides, there was one other one. Was it called DreamsCon or something like that?
Okay.
I think that's more indie stuff. I should be close to it now in a second. It should be like right here. See, what I'm trying to do is, there it is, DreamCom 2021. I assume at the Dreams community. So I think Dreams community is just like, you know that that software Dreams where you get to make your own stuff, your like own game and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what it is. And so it's not like new games or anything like that. But what I kind of want from not what I want, what I hope comes from this, what I hope comes from this Gamescom thing is that there's just plenty of game developers that look around at it, and there's plenty of people who want to hire game developers, writers, creators, anything, and we'll see a bunch of these like new innovative games, because the amount of indie games that are so madly creative and so brilliantly inspiring they must see some of that at this DreamsCom thing if they look around for more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. And some of those indie games are some of the best games to be made. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Some of those indie games just have something that AAA games and other type of games just don't have.
Fucking Undertale, probably one of the best games of all time, is like an 8-bit game. It's a side scroller, and it is. I need to finish it at some point, but it is literally one of the best games of all time. And this is one thing I fucking hate as well. I remember I was up in the apartment and I was watching. So I was playing it with one of my roommates, and another roommate came in, with one of her friends. And he looked at it and he literally goes, "Oh, I hope you didn't buy you. I hope you didn't. Did you spend money on this?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Oh, good, because if you did, I'd be worried about you." I was like, "You don't know what this game is, do you?" And he was like, "Oh, this game looks so weird." I'm like, "You're literally looking at the best written game, one of the best written games I have ever played. One game that I keep buckling with laughter at the same time as being awed with emotion in. And all you have to say is, I hope you didn't spend money on it. I wish I did spend money on it. It is a fan-fucking-tastic game." But that's what pisses me off about people and indie games, is they take one look at them and go, "Oh, 8-bit," and then they'll go away from it. Like, go back playing FIFA then.
Yeah.
Dick.
Oh, this doesn't look beautiful. Like, God, yeah, you went off there a little
I
bit.
no, I
But
just hate anyone like
I
that.
agree with you.
I hate anyone like
Like,
that who won't play a game
yeah,
like this.
because like, not just because it doesn't look beautiful like a Red Dead Redemption beautiful or
Mm.
anything like that. That just because it doesn't look beautiful doesn't mean it's not a good game.
Yeah.
Like it easily can be a fantastic game. Like look at all those, even not just indie games. Look at all the games in the past,
Mm.
where games began. Those games are by far not beautiful. Halo 1 is not beautiful, but it is a fantastic
Mm-hmm.
game. And just because something doesn't look beautiful, it doesn't mean it's a bad game. And it definitely, I feel like that's kind of hurts the indie community, indie games community, especially
Mm.
because if people aren't into indie games, they'll just take one look at it and go, no thanks,
Yeah.
and move on. And it does hurt them. And but for those who do play it, and it's probably a niche market, indie games, people love it, and some games do just shine through the cracks and
Mm.
just awe everyone, like that one that you said.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a list of game shows here,
Yeah. Quickly run through 'em.
showcases. Sorry, so we got E3. That's the one. Well, we got Ubisoft Forward, which is I think part of E3, um, but I'm not sure.
Go look at
But
Ubisoft.
E3 is the biggest one. Then we have Steam Next Fest.
Oh, okay.
So that's I'm guessing it's Steam.
Yeah.
Um. Um. And then we have EA Play, which is strange because EA is usually part of E3, but it's not this year.
Mm.
They're doing their own thing. They have their own showcase on the 22nd of July, and then that's pretty much it, really, for game shows and showcases this year. Anyway, I'm sure there might be one or two announced for the end of the year. Maybe some PlayStation 1 or something. Maybe at the end of the year, but that's usually about it.
Yep.
For this year's showcases. It's definitely all coming very quickly down the pipeline.
Yes. Very soon.
Yeah, which is great because we love a good game show showcase. You know.
Yes. I think that's also it
But,
for us.
It definitely is for us. Yeah, that's about it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and
Like,
YouTube,
share, subscribe,
where
do whatever.
like share, yeah, do all that jazz on YouTube. We will start soon to start posting.
And boy, have we one for you.
Will that be up by the time this is up?
That should be up by the time this is up.
So yeah, so go check it out. There should be a let's play on our YouTube, which is fantastic. So you should definitely go definitely go have a watch of that. That's really fun, and we will be doing more things like that and other things. So make sure to go over and check it out. But that's all for this week. So bye bye now.
Bye bye now. That's right.